It's furthermore is when a ship experiences destruction, sinking, dismantling, loss of the nationality and unknown existence, it must be modified in the restoration. So is as you know, right, is when a Korean ship is force is under any of the following sub paragraphs, its owners shall apply for the restoration thereof to the administrator of a regional office of oceans and fisheries is having jurisdiction over its port or registry within 30 days from the dates of which he or she has learned such a fact. Next part is the special rules is related to a public disclosure system of small ship. You need to distinguish is a normal ship and the small ship. So this small ship is actually you need to understand what is the small ships. I am explaining already is actually yes, a registry and restoration reading process is the tonnage is the steamship and the sailing ship. The needing is the tonnage is over the 20 tonnages. Their needing is a registry and restoration. And then also the barges is over the 100 tons is they needing is the same registry and restoration process. But is the belowest tonnage is vessels. Actually is a steamship and the sailing ship is lower than is 20 tons, and then is the 100 is tons is below the barges. We are saying it is small ships. So is the next is special rules is related to the public disclosure system of the small ships. Small ships is referred to as a steamship and the sail ship with a gross tonnage of the less than 20 tons and barges less than 100 tons. Because these modifications cannot be known as through the public disclosure system. That is a registry and restoration. So because this kind of the vessels don't need to is the mandatory registry and restoration. So is Article A2 is effect of change of ownership of small ship. It mentioned is as there. So you are understanding. This small ship is very small size and no values is in the society. But this is the it's a vessel and the ship. So the owners, the small ships, they want to trade, or as it says, is make a contract is the any parties. So with the government is they needing some public actions is control this kind of the small ship. So is this article is A2 is this kind of the regulation in there. So as I'm first is reading this is the regulation. The acquisition and the loss of the ownership of the small ship shall become effective is by marking restoration thereof. with the amendment of the August is 3rd is 2007 regulations is related to public disclosure of changes in the acquisition and the loss of ownership of small ship, and the procedure was newly established is to maintain the restoration and the mortgage system of small ship. Okay, is the acquisition and the loss of the ownership of a small ship shall become effective is by making restitution thereof. So is I mentioned this wordings is the restoration and this kind of any actions is needing is for the owners of the small ships. Okay. It's number 6 is a certificate of basis nationality. You know where is how to getting this certificate of the basis nationality. Is maybe some basis is tonnage is over 20 is over 100 tons is they need to is this process is registry, and the second is the restoration, and then is the government is the applicant is the issuing this certificate of the basis nationality, and then after is some bases have the certificate of the basis nationality of the Korea. They have the 3 prerogative and 2 obligation. It is kind of the right and the obligation is from this certificate of the basis nationality. So is we are talking about is this certificate of the basis nationality. Number 1 is a certificate of basis nationality. So first is the significance. The certificate of basis nationality is an official document that proves the ship's nationality of the ship issued is by the Office of Ocean and Fisheries, and having undergone the registry and the restoration process. Therefore, it is a legal document which proves the Korean nationality and identify of the vessel. So is the certificate of the vessel's nationality is an official document that proving the vessels having nationality and identification. And it is one of the legal documents of the specific template is that is issued to the ownership by the government. And regarding the certificate of the vessel's nationality, we have the related regulations. First is Article 8, Article 20, and Article 743 of the Korean Commercial Code. Okay, the second is issuance obligation. We already is checking is the related regulations, but we are again detailedly checking this one. Is Article 8. Article 8, paragraph 2 is mentioned is issuance obligation. If the administrators of the regional office of oceans and fisheries receives an applicant for the restoration of the ship described in part 1, he or she shall make a restoration thereof in the original ship register and issue a certificate of versus nationality to the applicant. The issuance will only be for ships is eligible for registry and registration that are more than 20 tons in gross tonnage. This one is the where is saying about it. So is from this articles 8, where is expect then. Maybe it's, the applicant is the first process is the registry after asking the registration to the government is maybe the process is satisfied. The government is have the obligation to issue this certificate of the basis nationality is to the applicant. Therefore, is the administrator is a government is must issue is the certificate of basis is nationality once the registry and the registration are complete. Okay, so number 3 is effect is effect is the where is exchange is the same is the prerogative right is or as the obligation. As nowhere is the having the nationality is what is the they having the right or is the obligations. Regarding this one is the Article 10 mentioned as there is a hoisting of the national flag and sailing. No Korean ship is, shall not be permitted to hoist the national flag of the Republic of Korea or to sail without keeping a certificate of vessels nationalities or a certificate of basis nationality in the ship. So is the right to hoist the national flag and navigate is this is stipulated in we are checking the Article 10 in and the read is as follows. So is therefore is Korean ships have a duty to carry the certificate of basis as a nationality is on board the ship and have the right to hoist the national flag and navigate its domestic waters. So is maybe some vessels having the Korean nationality is they have the right is hoist the national flag and then come to the cruise port and they have the some navigation right is between the domestic port. So is a domestic Korean nationality is having the vessels they are having some profit from these articles and then they have some trading making for profit. So is however there are exceptions to hoisting of the national flag and such a regulation is stipulated in Article 3, Paragraph 1 of the Enforcement Degree of the Ship Act. As first is our national holidays or any other day on which a national event is held. There's a second is when a ship offer is a congratulation and the condolences. Third is where ship is a bird, and the last three is where is any other is a good ground existence. This mentioned is about the exception. What is the exception? Is a detail is in there. As I read is the relevant is a regulation. Is on national holidays or is any other days on which a national event is held, provided that hoisting is the national flag on a national holidays of the foreign countries is permitted only when a ship is anchored in the foreign country. Second is when a ship is offers congratulations or is condolences in any cases other than those is referred to in subscribed one. Number three is where a ship is a barge, defined is by Article 1 to 3 of this Act. Next page is I explain is why is a barge is having an exception of the hosting national flag. Because it's the barge is it is not having the is a perfect is a facilities to operation vessels as like as normal vessel. So this barge is it's very hard to find is the host national flags. So the barge is we having the exception clause. Last is the where is any others good ground existence. So our regulations is mentioned is 4 types of the exceptions is about the hoist the national flag. Number 2 is provisional is a certificate of vessel's nationality. One is a significance. An official document that temporarily certificates is the citizenship and the identify of the ship when it is difficult to obtain the certificate of vessel's nationality. Unlike the certificate of vessel's nationality, there are limitations and expiration period is to the issuance. Okay, we are talking about the provisional certificate. It is not a normal cases. Maybe it's a normal cases. The ship owners they are trying to getting the after registry and registration certificate of the vessel nationality. But the title is the provisional certificate. So this kind of the provisional certificate is we are met the some special cases or is packs. So is this part is I am trying to explain is why this kind of the provisional certificate is asking as by the ship owners. And then it's also related this provisional certificate is we have the Article 9 in the this Ship Act. It's first is the according to these regulations, a person who has acquired a ship in the Republic of Korea may apply for the issuance of the certificate of vessel's nationality to the administrator of a regional office of ocean and fisheries is having jurisdiction over the place of the such acquisition. I'm just reading the regulation. As a second is a person is who has acquired a ship in a foreign country may apply for the issuance of the certificate of basis nationality to the consuls of the Republic of Korea having jurisdiction over the place of the such acquisition. Number 3 is paragraph 3 is when it is impracticable is for a person who has acquired a ship in a foreign country to apply for the issuance of the certificate of basis nationality at the jurisdiction of the place of the ship acquisition, such as application is maybe made to the consuls of Republic of Korea having jurisdiction is over the place of first call after the departure is from the place of ship acquisition. Number 4 is the matters is necessary for the issuance of a certificate of basis as nationality shall be prescribed by the audience of the Ministry of the Ocean and Fishery. Number 3 is about provisional certificate is impact. Regarding the impact of the provisional certificate of the basis nationality, it is the same as the certificate is of basis nationality. However, there are some different limitations in connections and the period. Because as you know, it is a provisional certificate. It is not the original and the normal certificate of the basis nationality. Some special requiring it is issued by the government. So there is some limitations and the some conditions is for issuing. Therefore, ships that have been issued the provisional certificate is have the duties to hoist the national flags as well as is a right to call at the cruise port and the transport is between domestic port. It is the same right as like as the original certificate of the national basis nationality. But as you know, where is where is needed to is why the Korea regulations is making this provisional certificate of the basis nationality. You know, is the if have no this kind of certificate of the basis nationality is or provisional certificate of nationality, they can't is the navigate is anything. So to navigation, so is the ship owners asking is the normal certificate of basis nationality or is the provisional certificate of nationality. Okay, so number 3 is about international tonnage certificate and international tonnage confirmation document. Significance. International tonnage is the required tonnage is required to sail international waters. Therefore, is the ship need international tonnage certificate or international tonnage confirmation documents. It's for overseas navigation. These regulations are stipulated in Article 13 International Tonnage Certificate of the Ship Act. So I am reading the relevant is the Article 13. The first is the owner of a Korean ship at least is 24 meters in length. The ship is managers where it has joint ownerships, or the ship is lessees where it is rented to him or her, shall allow the ships to engage in international voyages without keeping therein an international tonnage certificate thereof that has been issued is by Minister of Ocean and Fisheries. So the written is a document and record is the international gross tonnage and net tonnage is the number 2 is about this article is if the Minister of Ocean and Fisheries receive an application for the issuance of the international tonnage certificate is prescribed in Part 1, she or her shall issue such a certificate is to the applicant after she or she measures the international gross tonnage and the net tonnage of the relevant ship. Therefore, the international tonnage certificate is issued under the name of the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries based on the tonnage measurement. It's number 3 is the modification where a Korean ship is placed under any of the following sub-paragraphs. Its owner shall report to the administrator of a regional office of ocean and fisheries is having jurisdiction over its part of registry within 30 days is from the date on which he or she has learned such fact. As the first is where it falls under any subscribed of Article 22, paragraph 1. Where it is no longer engaged in the international voyage. Number 3 is where it becomes less than 24 meters in length. Its registry is the ship can't sail on international waters. If the length of the ship is less than 24 meters, such matters should also be notified for the modification. Number 4 is the issuance of the international tonnage confirmation. It is number 5, Article 13, paragraph 5, where the owner of the Korean ship of less than 24 meters in length, instead to have the ship engage in the international voyage, he or she may receive a tonnage certificate issued by the Minister of Ocean and Fisheries. Okay, understand. We need to understand why this kind of the international tonnage certificate is or international tonnage confirmation document. This first one is for navigation of the international waters. So they have no this kind of the certificate or document. Uh, Nobody of the operators any passes to the international waters. So is for international navigation is this kind of the certificate or document is necessary to the ship owners. Okay, is the this part of this the 7 is the last of the it's 2 days is lecture materials. The 7 is the ship active exemptions and special treatment of the small ship. I am explained is about the small ships is actually small ship is have no is values and the some there is no value in the society and then also the ship owners. So is but is there is some special treatment is to the small ships. Okay, so the first one is the ships is partially excluded from regulation. I'm already explained this why needing the regulation and registry and restoration, but this small ships is under the is requiring registry and restoration regulations. So we are some dividing thinking is the small ships. First is the purpose. As small ships are not engaged in the international voyages and not only is don't do have not requires strict procedures in proving their nationality, but they have a real need for a restoration system because their property values is small. And then is about this small ships is the latest provision is Article 26. 26 of the Ship Act is stipulates regulations on the ship that are excluded is from the application of some regulations because it's the tonnages is smaller than the ships that require registry and restoration. Such as not only do they have a small economic impact, but they are also not engaged in international sailing. Therefore, there is no need for strict procedures for getting national certificate. Therefore, given there is no need for registries or registration, there is separate streamlined processes for restoration of small ships. But this U.S. understanding, even if it's the small ship is there is needing is some restoration process. Okay, we are reading is the Article 26. Ships is partially excluded is from application. Article 7A A2 A3 is 11. Slope is 1822 shall apply to any of the following ship: warship and police ship. Second is the sail ship is with no engine installed among those weighing less than 5 gross tons. 3 is barges is weighing less than 20 gross tons. Number 4 is barges is weighing at least 20 gross tons, which are fixed underwater for the purpose of the mooring ship or storing ship supplies. Provided that floating structure types barges, such as floating hotels, floating restaurants, and floating theaters, which obtained permissions for occupation and uses or permissions for use under Article 8 of the Public Waters Measurement and Reclamation Act, or which obtained permission for occupation and use under Article 33 of the River Act shall be excluded herefrom. Number 5 is the ship navigated is by only oars and rows of ports. Number 6 is the fishing vessels is pouring under each items of subscribe 1 of Article 2 of the Fishing Vessels Act. Number 7 is dredgers is registered as a construction machinery under Article 3 of the Construction Machinery Management Act. Number 8 is waters, motorcycle, motorboats, is movable, and yachts registered as water leisures is equipment is under Article 30 of the water-related leisure activities is a Safety Act is from among powers driven water is a leisure equipment under subscribe 4 of Article 2 of the aforesaid Act.
The transportation of bulk liquids began in the late 19th century when the discovery and expedition of oils began. At that time, tankers emerged as the main mode of transportation to carry bulk liquids from refineries to the global market. As time passed, different energy products were produced and need of various types of tankers came into the real picture. Presently, a variety of products such as crude oil, finished petroleum products, liquefied natural gas, chemicals, edible oils, wine, juice, molasses, etc. are transported through tankers. Tankers play a major share of more than 33% of the world fleet tonnage. Tankers, however, are not restricted to one particular type or variety. There are many types of tankers in terms of use, construction, and size. There are two main categories by which shipping tankers can be classified: by type, purpose, and by size. Let's take a look at classification of tankers on basis of types. Oil tankers. Oil tankers, as their name suggests, carry oil and its byproducts. An oil tanker is designed to carry wide variety of petroleum products in bulk ranging from crude oil to refined products. Their size is measured in deadweight tonnage and ranges from 55,000 deadweight tonnage to VLCCs of over 300,000 deadweight tonnage. Due to their immense size, they have become quite cheaper to transport petroleum products. It costs around 2 to 4 cents per gallon only. Oil tankers are further subdivided into two main types: product tankers and crude tankers. Product tankers are used to transport petroleum-based chemicals. They are used to carry refined oil of various grades and are smaller in size as compared to the crude oil tankers. Crude tankers. These vessels are much larger in size than the other variants of oil tankers and move a large quantity of unrefined crude oil to the oil refineries. Gas tankers. They are specially designed to carry different forms of gases. As per the type of cargo carried and the requirements, these tankers can be classified into 5 categories. Fully pressurized ships. In these type of tankers, the cargo is carried in the ambient temperature. They have C-type of tanks which are made of carbon steel. There are no thermal insulations or any other plants. The cargo can be directly transferred by the pumps or compressor of the ship. Semi-pressurized ships. These are very similar to fully pressurized ships in terms of the tank construction and structure, but they are designed to carry gas at a maximum working pressure of 5 to 7 bars. These ships can be used to transport a wide variety of gas cargo in bulk. Due to its cargo handling flexibility, semi-pressurized gas tankers are most popular among the operators and owners. Ethylene ships. This variant of gas carriers are built for unambiguous trades which also have arrangements to carry LPG or chemical gases. Their cargo carrying capacity is between 1,000 to 12,000 cubic meter. Fully refrigerated LPG ships. These types of ships can carry liquefied gases at low temperature and atmospheric pressure. They have prismatic shaped cargo tanks made up of 3.5% nickel steel, which allow them to carry cargo at a temperature as low as -48 degrees centigrade. LNG carrier. Statistically speaking, there are around 500 LNG tankers that are currently under operation. LNG is now considered to be the alternative fuel for ships to comply with IMO 2020. LNG carriers are specifically designed to trade high volume of LNG. These ships have a cargo carrying capacity of 125,000 to 135,000 cubic meter. LNG is carried at its boiling point, which is -162 degrees centigrade, inside a specialized membrane tank. Chemical tankers. They range from 5,000 to 35,000 deadweight tonnage in size. The size of these vessels is smaller as compared to the oil tankers due to the specialized nature of the cargo and the size restriction of the ports and shore facilities. They consist of various tanks which are coated with specialized coatings such as phenolic epoxy, stainless steel, or zinc paint. Slurry tankers. Slurry refers to all those materials that do not disperse or dissolve in water and are otherwise regarded as waste material. These type of vessels are not ideal for shipping any chemical products other than slurry itself. Hydrogen tankers. These tankers are specifically designed to carry liquefied hydrogen gas in bulk. Kawasaki Heavy Industries was the first company to design a hydrogen tanker. Juice tankers, as the name suggests, these tankers are specially designed for the carriage of juice. They either carry concentrated or fresh orange juice originating from Brazil to other parts of the world. These tankers have refrigeration, temperature controller, and preservation plants, which helps them to keep the juice fresh at all times. Wine tankers. Transporting wine has become quite simpler as sleek wine tankers are used specifically to carry wine. These tankers are used in carrying wine from the place of production to different countries. Integrated tug barge. ITBs are prominently used in the eastern coast of the United States. These tankers are mainly tugs attached to barge, leading to the formation of a single cargo carrying unit. Let's take a look at the type of tankers on the basis of size. Very large crude carriers, VLCC tankers, have a cargo carrying capacity of 250,000 tons. Ultra large crude carriers, ULCC, are mega ships that have a cargo hauling capacity which ranges up to 500,000 tons. Panamax and New Panamax, the type of tanker that can pass through the Panama Canal, is known as Panamax. New Panamax vessels are those which can cross the recently made New Panama Canal and have an average capacity of 65,000 deadweight tonnage. The cargo tankers, which cannot be classified under Panamax category because of their bigger size, are known as the post-Panamax tankers. Aframax. The Aframax cargo tankers are the type of tanker ships which are mainly used in the Mediterranean Sea, China Sea, and the Black Sea. These tankers have a deadweight tonnage between 80,000 and 120,000 tons. Suezmax. Panamax tankers are named for vessels which can navigate through the Panama Canal. Similarly, Suezmax vessels are so called because they can pass through the Suez Canal. Qmax. These are the largest LNG carriers that can dock at the LNG terminals in Qatar, having length of approximately 345 meters and capacity of 266,000 cubic meters. It cannot be denied that in the present day scenario, the whole world runs in oil and gas, and tanker shipping offers the best possible transportation efficiency of these products.
Okay, we are done. I prepare materials about the Korean Shipping Act. I summarize finally. You understands the distinguishes the types of the ship, and then is why the Korean government is asking to the ship owners is a registry and registration is over the tonnage is some passes, and then we are Korean. This regulation have the disclosure systems. It's to protect the third parties and it's a safety trading is between the ship owners. So thank you for you are giving my lectures. Thank you very much.